What's going on, guys? Dwayne here with My Investment Journey, and in this video I want to take a live look at my stock portfolio. So the Feds are going to announce right now 1 p.m. Central Time that they're going to raise interest rates, and I want to see how that's going to affect my portfolio. I want to see if my portfolio is going to fall, because this is normally what happens when the Feds raise the interest. So very, very interested in kind of seeing that. This is a live stream, so I want to be sharing with you guys in real time what's going on in my stock portfolio. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Dwayne. On this channel, I talk about how to start investing in the stock market, and I show you my investment journey as well. So be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. This is a live stream, so go ahead and smash the thumbs up in this video. As you guys are watching this live, I hope you guys are all doing well. This channel and this community is growing quite nicely. We have 3,000 subscribers, a little over 3,000 subscribers right now. And I want to, like I said, kind of see what's going to happen in regards to my stock portfolio. I want to see if it's going to take a dive when the Feds raise interest rates here. So they're supposed to be announcing right now in regards to raising the interest rates. So just to kind of give you guys a snapshot of what's going on in my portfolio, let me see if I can get all this stuff on the same desktop so I can show you guys what's going on in my portfolio. Let me see here. All right, this is on desktop number 2. So I need to move my portfolio over to number 2. Let me see. All right. What is this? Number 3. So I need to move it over to number 2. Okay, now it's over on number 2, and I'm on number 2 as well. Like I said, very curious to kind of see what happens here. This is a live stream. I haven't done a lot of live streams here on this channel, but to kind of show you guys what's going on with my portfolio, I share my computer screen, and you guys can see there my portfolio currently. So there it is. And right now, my portfolio is valued at $287,000. I started to reinvest back with the stock market since 2020. Of course, everybody and their mom was trying to invest in the stock market because we had COVID going on, and maybe you were interested in kind of becoming a trader. I know that I was very much interested in that, and for some reason, I don't know, I somehow stumbled across trading, and I decided, what, maybe this is a good time to buy some stocks, because of course the market was down substantially, especially March, April, May of 2020. So I decided to jump in. So right now we're looking at my portfolio live, and as you guys can see, kind of what's taking place so far in my portfolio today. So for me here in Houston, the market opens at 8:30 a.m. Houston is Central Time. So at 8:30, my portfolio was down $371, and it was valued at $284,000. And then of course you guys can see here at 9:25, my portfolio went up to $290,000, and right now this is live, it's at $288,000. Now overall, I have invested $260,000 in the market so far. So just to let me see. Yeah, so I have $260,000 invested in the stock market so far. Just to kind of give you guys some perspective on that, I'll show you kind of what's been happening in my portfolio. So the last month, my portfolio is currently up $42,000 in the last month. So just to kind of give you a snapshot of that, it was 243,000 back here in June, and now it's July 26th, and it's valued at 287,000. The last 3 months, my portfolio is up 87,000 year to date from January. Look at this. back in January, my portfolio was valued at 137,000, even 124,000, and I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything to have it be so low, right? So in the last from January till now, my portfolio is up $149,000, which obviously is always cool. And then, of course, from July to July, from July the 26th to today, which is July the 26th, my portfolio is up 57,000. And then if I click on all time here to show you guys, I started reinvesting in the stock market here in May of 2020. Since May of 2020, I have invested $260,000 in my portfolio. So right now you have 260, 245 is what I've invested. The reason why underneath that you see negative $4,399 is because back in 2016, I started to invest in the stock market, and I basically invested about, $4,399 because I took my money out because, of course, I didn't know what I was doing, and I wasn't invested in dividend paying stocks or anything. I didn't even buy shares with Apple, which is crazy. So the reason why you see the negative 4,000 and change is because of that, because I invested back in 2016, 2017. So since May of 2020, my portfolio is, currently up 27,000, which obviously is really, really cool. But you could see my journey wasn't smooth. You could see, way back over here in January, my portfolio, at $133,000. I mean, that's crazy. And to see where it is right now, which is 287. So right now, this is live, as you guys can see in my portfolio. I was very curious to kind of see what would happen to my portfolio as the Fed makes their official announcement and raises the interest rate. So that's kind of what kind of prompted me to do the live stream. Because once again, I am beyond curious to kind of see how that all plays out. So we'll kind of see what happens with my portfolio. But as you guys are in this is a live stream. So there are 2 people in the live stream right now. Go ahead and smash the thumbs up in this video. It helps the channel tremendously. There are 2 people in the streams. Since this is a live chat, feel free to ask any questions that you guys may have so that I could, try to answer them. Give me a second here. I need to be able to see the comments in the chat so I can answer them. I can't see the comments. There's no comment currently, I don't think, because I feel like it would pop up if there was a comment, but for some reason I lost that window. Give me a second to find it back real quickly here. We got 1 person in the chat right now, which is really cool. Once again, this is a live stream, so feel free if you have any questions to ask. If you're watching this in the stream, go ahead and, like I said, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. For some reason, I don't see the comments, and I'm not sure why it's hidden, because it shouldn't be. I'm trying to find how to put the comment back on so I can see it. But like I said, I hope you guys are doing well today. I wanted to see kind of what would happen in regards to the stock market when the Feds made their announcement in regards to raising the interest rate. So far, nothing dramatic has happened. I'm not quite sure where they are in the meeting in regards to making the announcement and raising the interest rate. Let me see if I can find it on Google or something. See if I can find it in Google. So they're basically going to, the rate's going to go from 5.25 to 5.55. So a prime example would be kind of what's going on in my portfolio with Robinhood. So with Robinhood, I am currently using margin investing. And so because I'm using margin investing, of course, Robinhood is charging currently 7.75% in regards to interest that they charge you for using margin investing. So by the Feds raising from 5.55 to 5.25 to 5.55, it's going to raise my interest rate from 7.75 to 7.80. Is that right? Let me see. Thank you for that thumbs up. I appreciate you. The thumbs up pusher. I appreciate that a lot. So far, my portfolio is actually going up, which is interesting. And it's always a good thing to see. Let me show you guys here on the screen. So you can see here, the Feds made the announcement at 2 p.m., okay, which is 1 p.m. time in Texas or in Houston, where I am. And since then, my portfolio has gone up. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of neat to see. Because I definitely was expecting it to go down, and I was going to take that time to grab some more shares. Of course, the day is not complete yet, so we'll see exactly what happens and how the market reacts to that. I'm not sure because I didn't listen to whatever they said in the actual meeting because I decided to do the live stream with you guys. But my portfolio, once again, is going up. As you can see, there's been an upward trend since 1 p.m. Okay, so since 1 p.m. it's basically doubled, right? So we're at 1,700 right now. It's at 3,500, which is always cool when my portfolio goes up. I mean, that never gets old. Let me see something here. Uh-oh. Here we go. Put me back on camera. There we go. There I am. So if you guys have any questions, once again, this is a live stream, so don't hesitate to slap that into the comment section so that I can answer any questions that you guys may have. Let me see. What is this? No, that's not what I need. Okay, there we go. So far we have no comments or questions, which is cool. Of course, like I said, you guys are looking at my portfolio right now. So, I definitely, if you guys have any questions at all about my portfolio or, in regards to the stock market, I can definitely try to answer you guys' questions. So it's gone up a little bit, it's pulled back a little bit, a couple $100. Right now it's $3,200 instead of $3,500. I'll show you guys real quick. So you're looking at my portfolio right there. So you can see on the left hand side, it's underneath the 288,000. You can see it has 3,200, 3,100. Of course, this is live, right? So it's going to go back and forth, but it's definitely interesting. Like I said, I anticipate when the Fed made their announcement in regards to raising interest rates, I anticipate that the market's going to respond negatively and it's going to go down. So of course, this is, live. And as you can see, it's coming down a little bit. It had gone up $3,500 since they made their announcement. Not $3,500, but it went up another $1,700. So it's interesting. Once again, we'll see how this kind of plays out. But all in all, the stock market is a super interesting place to be. It's very interesting to kind of learn as you go. And one of the things that I find very fascinating is that in a way, the stock market is kind of like life. You know what I mean? Like you can, choose to give up when it gets hard type of thing. Or you can kind of choose to stick it out and see if you can learn and get better. And I've been very, very fortunate to do that in regards to the stock market. A lot of the things that are going on in my portfolio that are very, very positive, I cannot necessarily measure it with, oh my God, I'm up $100,000. You know what I mean? Like I can't really measure it that way. And a lot of people don't see the beauty in small wins. And if you have a win in the stock market, it's huge because the majority of people fail. You know what I mean? That's why when it comes to investing in the stock market, the best thing to do is kind of invest in stocks that pays dividend. Right now we have 5 people in the stream. Please smash the thumbs up. It helps tremendously. It'll get this video in front of more people and get more people in the community. So be sure to ask questions. I see we have 3 questions in the live chat. This is a live stream, so I'm gonna jump into the stream and answer you guys' questions. I'm still having a look at my portfolio here on my cell phone just to kind of see what's going on with that. So right there, you can see on my Robinhood app, my portfolio is up $3,000 today. So I'm keeping an eye, even though I'm talking to you guys. But definitely, you guys can ask questions. I have a lot of different types of investments in my portfolio, and my portfolio is definitely more risky than a lot of other people would prefer to do. But that's the beauty with life and the stock market, right? You can kind of do whatever the heck you want to do. And in a way, there are so many different ways to get to the same destination. That's even another positive thing about living in a place like the United States. Like, if there's traffic or something, you can jump on Google and find an alternate route. Whereas if you're living in a place like Jamaica, where I'm from, sometimes there's literally only one way to get to where you're headed. So there's no turning off, and you know what I mean? Like there is no shortcut. There is no other way to go. But with the stock market and with life, like I said, there's multiple ways to make money, and you can kind of set your own rules. Okay. So right now the portfolio is coming down a little bit. But we'll kind of see what happens as this live stream happens. All right, so I'm gonna jump into the comment section here. We got a comment here. It says, what do you recommend for a 20-year-old investor? That is a great question. And so when it comes to me giving my recommendations, obviously I'm not a guru, right? Like I'm not a financial advisor, that type of thing. However, for me personally, I am invested in Apple, and I think Apple is a decent place to start. One of the things that I like about investing in the stock market, like for example, if you are looking to invest in an ETF, right? An ETF has a collection of companies, right? So I'll show you an ETF that I'm in right now. Let me do a screen share real quick so you guys can see my portfolio right now. I'm gonna scroll down here and pull up one of my ETFs and kind of show you where my head is at in regards to that ETF. Okay, so the one I'm opening right now is a Vanguard ETF, and it is this one is VGT. It's Vanguard Information Technology ETF. As you guys can see, it's on the screen. And so the reason why I like this one is because when you purchase an ETF, you purchase a bunch of different companies. Now, this one is a technology ETF. So as you can see, it has right here where the mouse is, it has 325 different companies. Okay. And then it has a breakdown of the sectors. So you can see technology is 99%, okay, which obviously is very high. But you have the diversity in the sense that there are 325 different companies, right? But it's very heavy technology wise. There are other ETFs that you can use that it's not as heavy technology wise. For example, if you looked up VOO, so if I type in VOO, VOO is going to be the top 500 companies in the United States, right? And it's an ETF. It's a Vanguard ETF. So if I click on it here and show you guys, you'll see that it has right here, it has 508 different companies. And of course, when you look at the different sectors, you can see it's a little better, but still heavy on the technology, right? So you can see technology on the left side of the screen here is 29%, then healthcare is 13%, then financial services is 11%. And so basically, if you invest $100 in this particular ETF, $28 would go towards technology, $13 would go towards healthcare, 11 would go to financial services, so on and so forth. One of the cool things that I also like about ETFs is, like, you could see they're going to show you the top 10 holdings in this particular ETF. If I can get to it, here are the top 10 holdings. And what I like about seeing what the top 10 holdings are is it's not a secret, and it's really part of the answer, right? If they're telling you these are our top 10 holdings, in a way, they're giving you the formula. They're giving you the key to the test, right? So you see the first one is Apple. The next one is Microsoft. The next one is Amazon. The next one is Nvidia. The next one is Google. The next one is Tesla. The next one is Facebook. The next one is Google again. The next one is Berkshire Hathaway. The next one is United Health. So in a way, they're giving you the answer. So when it comes to what you should invest in, once again, I'm not, a financial advisor. However, it depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to try to get as much money as possible and invest in like growth type of stocks, then of course it would be easy to tell you invest in Apple and Tesla, because you're probably going to experience growth at a pretty decent rate with Apple and Tesla, versus if you invested in Procter and Gamble, right? Procter and Gamble has paid dividends for 1,000,000 years straight. They've raised their dividend payments for 1,000,000 years straight. The dividend that it yields, the dividend percentage is not insanely high, but the thing is, it's a solid company, just like Johnson and Johnson, right? Like, they're going to have lotions and baby powder, just like Coca-Cola, right? And Pepsi. They have more than just soda products. So those would be great companies to invest in as well, but you're not going to grow your portfolio wildly by investing with that type of company, which is not a bad thing. So it depends on what your strategy is. If, like, for me, I'm 45. So of course I'm like, yo, I got to get this money like now, right? So I want to get like a lot of money now. And then later on, once my portfolio is over $1 million, I probably won't be as risky in regards to how much I'm investing in like technology company, right? Like right now, my portfolio is like, it's, somebody would say my portfolio is a nightmare as far as how much money I have invested with Apple, or like, the percentage of my portfolio that Apple makes up, because, you have people that are professionals that will tell you, oh, no more than X percent invested with this sector. You know what I mean? Because they're telling you, like, if this sector is really, really bad, but it's half of your portfolio, then when that sector goes down, or when it's not doing well, it's going to affect your portfolio a lot, right? So it just really kind of depends. So you have a lot of options. Once again, what I like about the ETFs is that they provide for you answers. They show you, when they show you the top 10 holdings, they're telling you, they believe so much in this company or these companies that they're the top 10, right? And then of course it's ranked percentage wise, right? When you look at a lot of ETFs, the top company in the ETF is normally Apple, right? It's normally Apple. There's Microsoft second place most of the times, right? Google's in there, Tesla's in there, but definitely Apple and Microsoft are always 1 and 2, right? In the majority of the ETFs that you're looking at. So I just showed you technology-driven ETF. I also showed you the top 500 company ETF with VOO. If I show you like VTI, which is the entire stock market, you'll see once again different types of companies in the ETF, right? But Apple is always like kind of number one. So like if Apple is number one percentage-wise in a lot of people's ETFs, then maybe it's not a bad idea to invest with Apple directly. You can still invest in the ETF, but you can also invest directly with Apple. So great question. Sorry, I definitely can't pronounce your name, so I didn't even attempt it, because I want to make sure that, I'm doing the right thing. Give me 1 second here. My stepmom is calling me. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I gotta call you back. I'm on YouTube right now, live at this moment, but I wanted to answer your call. It's gonna be tricky because I'll be driving, but let me call you back when the live stream is done. All right, cool. Yes. So it's certainly interesting. We have 6 people watching. This is a live stream. So if you have any questions, feel free to slap them into the comment section. But more importantly, smash the thumbs up in this video. I can't believe you only have 1 thumbs up in the video, and we have 6 people currently in the live stream. But slap your questions in there. If you guys want to see my portfolio as well, you could definitely ask that, and I'll show you my portfolio. I'm keeping an eye on the portfolio right now. Okay, so now we're going down a little bit. Now it's headed downwards versus where it was when I started the stream. So let me show you guys my portfolio here real quick, just so you guys can have a quick view. So right now my portfolio is currently at 287, 286. Okay, you're watching it here, you're seeing it live, right? So the Fed's made an announcement in regards to raising interest. So for me, because I'm invested on Robinhood and I do use margin investing, my interest rate's going to go from 7.75 to 7. I need to get it together. Let me see. Let me see. Sorry. Let me see how much they raised interest rates here, so I can make sure I'm saying the right thing. Okay, so it's 0.25%. So instead of 7.75% with margin investing on Robinhood, it's going to go from 7.75% to 8%. Okay, so what that means is, obviously, if I'm borrowing $100, 8% of $100 is $8, and it's $8 for the entire year, right? Okay, if I'm borrowing $1,000, 8% of $1,000 is $80 for the entire year. If I'm borrowing $100,000, 8% of $100,000 is $8,000 for the entire year. Okay, so how margin investing works is you'll have margin investing enabled on your account. They may allow you to use basically, have access to, if you have $10,000 in your investment account, you may have access to borrow another $10,000. It doesn't necessarily give you 100% access to the amount of money that you have in your portfolio. How they calculate margin investing depends on different things. As far as like what they're going to allow you to borrow, depends on different things. Depends on your portfolio, the stocks in which you're invested, how risky your portfolio is, that type of thing, right? Thank you guys for smashing the thumbs up. Once again, please, if you have any questions, slap them into the comment section. This is a live stream, so I'm definitely going to get to you. And I see you guys comments here in the stream, so don't worry. I see you, and I'm going to get to you. Trust and believe that. So with the margin investing, like it's certainly an interesting thing. I've been making these videos here and there showing you guys some wins in regards to my margin investing. But margin investing has done wonders for me in my portfolio because I have had positions where my average cost is like $11, right? And of course, the market's still kind of down. Certain things are still substantially down, right? Like real estate is down as far as the market is concerned. A prime example would be with one of my positions with Armor Residential REIT. I think my average cost at one point was like $11, okay? And I have videos here on YouTube where my average cost was $11 with Armor Residential REIT. And because of margin investing, I was able to, make some purchases. And so what I would do was I would buy some shares. And then, of course, when it goes up a little bit, I would sell. So, of course, I would use my margin investing and I would, I'm looking for a screenshot that I took because I was supposed to make a video about it and I still haven't. I'm looking for a screenshot that I took from one of my videos that I did on YouTube with Armor Residential REIT when my average cost was, like I said, I think it was like $10 or $11, right? And now my average cost with Armor Residential REIT is $4.91. Now I was able to do that because of margin investing, because I just kept, even though the price kept going down and I was discouraged, I was like, wait, I can use margin investing and I could purchase some shares, bring my costs down, and when it goes up a little bit, I can sell and make a little profit. And so that's exactly what I did. I'm having the hardest time finding this, finding my little screenshot that I took. I need to put it in my favorites, but I'll find it for you guys and show you. And as a matter of fact, I'll find it on YouTube and show you guys. Give me a second here, because I definitely want to show you, just because it's really powerful. You know, the fact that I can use margin investing and bring my average cost down, you know, which is always insanely powerful, you know. So margin investing is certainly interesting. There's different ways that you can, you know, use margin investing and be successful, you know, and I'm very lucky. I'm lucky like that. What I'm doing right now is I'm in the back office of my YouTube account, and I'm looking for an older video where I can show you guys what I'm talking about in regards to where my portfolio was with Almore Residential REIT. And I also want to show you where it is currently with Almore Residential REIT, just because, I mean, like, that's just insanely powerful. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are intimidated by margin investing, and of course I was as well. You know, I didn't really know what the hell I was doing, but I, you know, kept kind of dabbling type of thing. Okay, so I found a video here. I'm gonna click on it, and I'm gonna get the video kind of loaded up, and I'll pause it right when it shows me what my average cost is per share, just so I can show you guys, you know, because I'm that type of guy, just so I can show you guys what my average cost was, and where it is today. Okay, so it's loading up here. Give me a second. But I'm gonna jump into the comment section, like I said, and answer you guys' question. Okay, here we go. Found it. Like, this is a beauty. This is so powerful, you guys. I'm so excited. All right, so let me get on the right screen here so I can share with you guys. Okay, so right now I'm sharing my screen. Yikes. Give me a second here. Okay, so I'm sharing my computer screen right now, so you guys can see right here on the screen my average cost is $11.82, right? It's higher than I remember, right? I'm saying it was $11. You can see on the screen $11.82. You guys can see that. Let me zoom in a little bit, see if I can. Here we go. Now you definitely can see it, right? $11.82, right? On the left, you see my market value, $9,404, right? And then below that, you could see I am down $1,000, right? Let me hit play on the video so you can see. Okay, there you go. You see I'm down 9%, right? $1,030. My average cost was $11.82, and I had almost 10 G's invested with this. Okay, pause this video. Now I'm going to show you my current position with Almore Residential REIT. Okay, so you see there. Okay, now I'm going to open the tab with Almore Residential. It's pulling up here. Okay, so here we are, Almore Residential, and look at my average costs, $4.91. Okay, which is obviously a lot less than $11.82, right? And then my market value is $11,000. Okay, so I have like almost, you know, like $2,000 more invested. But here's the magic, right? And my total return now is I'm up $655, right? So you just saw, you just saw my average cost was, you know, $11.82, and now my average cost is $4.91. Now I've been meaning to do this video for the longest time. You know, I still haven't done that. I still haven't done that video, but that's powerful, you know? So it's one of those things, like, I think I initially started talking about this because, you know, when it comes to the stock market, just like life, like I said, there are different ways to be successful and make money. And that right there, I can't really measure that in my portfolio to be able to bring my average cost from $11.82 where I had $9,000 invested, right? Okay. And now it's $4.91. I have 11,000 invested. Now, of course, I could sell $2,000 worth and have the same exact amount of money invested, but I'm winning. My average cost is substantially lower, right? $4.92 versus $11.82. I'm sorry, $4.91 versus $11.82, right? So of course, whenever that finally recovers, there's going to be some growth in my portfolio and my return as well, right? Now, a lot of people would say that, that's a risky move, right? Like investing in Omar Residential REIT, it's a risky move. But once again, once you invest your money in the stock market and really, really pay attention, there's a bunch of different ways that you can be successful. Speaking of successful, smash the thumbs up in this video, please. I see we have 3 viewers, 5 thumbs up. I think there's 1 or 2 of you guys that haven't smashed the thumbs up yet. If you have questions, drop them into the live chat. This is a live stream, okay? Jumping back into the stream, gonna answer you guys' question before I get on another tangent. So we got another question here. It says, Dwayne, what is your emotional journey when the portfolio went down so much and back up again? That's a solid question. I'm not sure if you're still in the stream or not, but it's a solid question because, of course, when you look at someone's portfolio and you see the swings that you see in my portfolio, you can't measure it because it's not your experience. So for me personally, it was certainly not the easiest thing, but one of the things that I've done is I've watched videos on YouTube and hear people talk about the fact that when a stock goes down, thank you for smashing that thumbs up, by the way. When a stock goes down, it's not like all of a sudden that company's worthless, right? Like if I invested in Johnson & Johnson and Johnson & Johnson's stock drops, $5, it's not like, oh, all of a sudden Johnson & Johnson is a horrible company, right? Of course, it sucks when you watch your portfolio go down, but I mean, that's the name of the game. I mean, as long as the overall trajectory is up, right, then that's all that matters. And what's interesting about that is life is very much like that as well. Like if I think about my own journey in regards to like losing weight and getting more healthy, right? It's not that I don't lose weight just going down, down, down every single day. And now I'm where I want to be. You might go down, you might go up, you might go down, down, you might go up a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's the journey. And the stock market is very much like that. Just as long as the overall trajectory is heading in the direction that you want it to go. So yeah, we got Micah in the house. Micah says, are you still invested in Tesla? Are you holding for the long term? I am still invested in Tesla. Tesla is my 3rd largest position in my stock portfolio. Apple is number 1. Lucid Group is number 2. And Lucid kind of ends up being number 2 kind of by accident, because what happened is I did the same thing with Lucid Group. My portfolio, I was upside down in regards to Lucid. And because of margin investing, I kept bringing my average cost, down. So I would buy a little, sell a little. I'll show you guys that in 1 second. Let me show you guys where my portfolio is right now, though, because this is kind of cool. It's shot up a little bit, right? So since the video has started, which they made the announcement at 1 p.m. Central Time here in Houston, since the video has started, my portfolio has, so I'll show you guys 1 p.m. right here. It was at $287. I was up $1,700. Then, of course, it went up at 1:15. I was up $3,000, and it went down a little bit. Okay, and then right now it's up $5,000. So the market is definitely responding to the Fed's making their announcement, and it's interesting to see because this type of thing happens, and of course you can choose to take advantage of it. You know what I mean? Like I alluded to Lucid Group being my 2nd largest position, and I'll show you guys my position with Lucid. Okay, so with Lucid, my portfolio, it's a big chunk of my portfolio. Okay, and I've used a lot of margin investing. Okay, so you can see Lucid Group right here. You see I have $63,000 invested with Lucid. Lucid is 11.66% of my portfolio. 11.66. I'll open up Apple and Tesla just to kind of show you guys and kind of keep it transparent a little bit. So I'll open up Apple and Tesla just to kind of show you, what's what. Okay, so we have Apple, which the price has gone up, which is kind of good. See, there's this big jump with Apple. So even Apple today alone is up $2,000 for me in my portfolio. So Apple is currently 41.20% of my portfolio. You can see here where the mouse is. Okay, actually you guys can't see. Let me see. There we go. Now you can see. All right, 41.20% of my portfolio. Apple is. Okay, let's have a look at Tesla. Tesla is 9.78%. So Tesla's 9.87%. And Lucid is 11% of my portfolio. So those are the top three. Okay, so once again, if I show you guys what I've been doing with Lucid Group, I've been doing the same kind of thing, right? Like in regards to my using margin investing and bringing my average cost down, right? So if I show you guys, if I click on show more, okay, just to kind of show you guys what I've been up to, right? So you see here, there's a lot of stuff going on with Lucid. If I scroll all the way down and kind of give you a little snapshot, right? So like I first started, give me 1 second. Let me get this off the screen here. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me get this comment off the screen so I can show you the full screen. By the way, smash the thumbs up in the video. If you have any questions, drop them into the comment section. All right. So I first started here with Lucid March 23rd, 2022, right? So you see $25.91. March 29th, I sold, right? Made a little profit. Okay. March 31st, I bought $25.63. April 5th, I bought some more, $24.60. April 5th, I bought some more, $23.98. July the 7th, I bought some more, $19.71. July 11th, I bought some more, $18.81. Now, the reason why I'm purchasing is because I'm bringing my average cost down every time, right? Then I sold some. You see, I sold some here, $21.32, right? Because I'm taking a little bit of profit. Then, of course, I bought some more, $20.64. Then I don't know why it says one share right there, but whatever. I bought some more here, or I'm sorry, I sold some, right? And then, so you could see like Lucid, $15, right? Lucid is trading right now for $7, right? So you could see that it's been a lot of buying and selling, right? You could see, you see another buy, $11 buy, $9 buy, $13 sell, $10 buy, right? Scroll up, $9 buy, $7.57 buy, right? And then I sold $7.71. So I'm buying and selling and buying and selling. As you guys can see, there's a lot of buying and selling going on here with Lucid Group. And I mean, all the way up to where we are now in July, right? You can see the most recent one in July, where July 21st, I bought $16,900, $6.76 at the time. And I sold on July the 24th, $7.11. The same amount, right? I bought 2,500 shares. I sold 2,500 shares. Now, I'm doing that because I'm bringing my average cost down. So like right now, my average cost with Lucid is $6.94. So once again, there's a lot of like different ways that you can be successful in the stock market and make money and, you know, kind of take advantage of some of the things that you may have, you know, at your disposal. And so at my disposal, I have margin investing. And with Robinhood, like it's a ridiculous amount. As a matter of fact, Robinhood has, I have more money in margin investing that I could use than I have invested with Robinhood. What I mean by that is I have invested $260,000 on Robinhood, right, in my Robinhood account. My margin investing limit is like $300,000, right? So it's more It's not even the same. It's not 260 and 260. It's 260 and 300 and something $1,000 that I have access to in regards to margin investing. And the reason why I do is because it has to also do with what companies I'm invested. If I was invested with a bunch of risky companies, Robinhood wouldn't allow me the ability to borrow, more than I have invested. You know what I mean? So it all kind of depends on that. So my portfolio is still up $5,000 right now. I'm keeping an eye on it. It's up $5,400 today. So just to kind of give you guys can see that there. It's at $290,000. It's up $5,000 today, right? You see it's coming down a little bit, of course. It'll be interesting once again to kind of see what happens in the market. Okay, jumping back in the comment section. We got Chilling with Scripture says, Dwayne, what advice do you have for someone whose portfolio is down 50% since you have been there? It may be time to reassess. To be honest with you, when I started to invest in the stock market in May of 2020, like literally my very first purchase was with an airline company, and it was an airline company in Latin America. And I think I purchased like on a Friday, and the company filed bankruptcy on a Monday, and the Monday was like a holiday. It was probably Memorial Day in May of 2020, and my portfolio was down. Obviously, they filed bankruptcy or restructuring or whatever, right? So I think you need to reassess what you're investing in, and you may want to, like, for some reason when I started to invest, I didn't want to invest with Apple and Tesla. And of course, Apple and Tesla were expensive, right? But I didn't know the importance of investing with Apple and Tesla. I was just like, it's too much per share. I'll invest with a company that's the shares are low, and I'll just buy a lot of shares, and I'll buy low and sell high. We know it's a simple thing, but the thing is, like, the more you watch the market and the more you pay attention, the more you learn, and the more money you have invested, the bigger the swings are gonna be. You know what I mean? Like, right now, looking at my portfolio, like for me, because I have so much money in my portfolio, right now my portfolio is up 1.75%, right? So looking at the screen, you see it's up 1.71%, which is, for me, because I have so much money, is $4,800, right? Now, when you're up $4,800, like I am right now in this moment, it's only 1.75% of my portfolio. Well, once again, there's a lot of money in there. Now, if I'm down almost 5 G's, of course, that feels a little different, So it just really kind of depends on where you are. You definitely don't want to give up no matter what. Like, giving up is silly. What you may want to do is you may want to shift some of your investments moving forward. Okay. If you don't want to be risky like me and do margin investing, because of course it is kind of risky, right? You may want to change where your investments are. And I don't mean change like sell stuff, right? And then take the money, take the L and then invest it over here. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, with the new money that you will be investing in moving forward, maybe you invest in companies that are going to give you growth in your portfolio, like an Apple, like a Tesla, right? Or Amazon or Google, right? Now, of course, you got to be patient with that. The more you pay attention, the more you're going to learn. The more you're going to learn and understand, and the less afraid you're going to be when it comes to, like, okay, the price is down, the company that I'm invested. Well, if it's a solid company, you could grab more shares and bring your average cost down. Or if it's a company that's paying you dividends, right? Like, yeah, you could once again grab more shares, bring your average cost down, and make your dividend payment a little higher. So it really just kind of depends. It just depends on what you're invested in. Was my portfolio down 50%? I don't even know. Let me look at it. Let me look at it and see. Yeah, okay. It was down 46% at one point. So it's funny because 46%, all of that's relative depending on how much money you have invested, right? So as you guys can see here, my portfolio was down 46%, which is $106,000, obviously that's a problem, right? But 46% is nothing. If you only have $100 invested, it's only $46, right? So it's certainly interesting. I think that's quite funny, but all of it's kind of relative, right? But I would definitely, stick it out, bro. One of the worst things that I ever did was sell all my positions back in 2017 and say, man, F the stock market, like I would be so much farther ahead had I stuck it out in 2017. I started investing in 2016 and I just licked my wounds in 2017 and said, I'm done, right? Now, of course, depending on the situation, yeah, I could understand, being done. But, if you're looking for ways to really multiply your money and create generational wealth and create financial freedom, the stock market is definitely one of the ways that you can do that. Adam said, just tune in. Please share the top 5 positions and why you selected these. That's a hard question for me. The top 5 positions. I don't even know that I know the top 5 positions percentage wise, but I did allude to it earlier in the fact that, Apple, Lucid Group, and Tesla are my top positions as far as where my money is, right? And of course, I'm invested in Apple, Lucid, and Tesla because I see potential growth. One of the things that I like to do when I'm looking is I like to look at the 5-year chart, right? So, like if you look at Tesla's 5-year chart or Apple's 5-year chart, Tesla in the last 5 years is up 1,000 and whatever percent. Now, I don't expect that to happen in the next 5 years. I would be lucky if that same type of result happened in the next 10 years, right? So like, I could look at Apple, and Apple in the last 5 years, Apple is up 300% in the last 5 years. Now, if Apple in the next 5 years or even the next 10 years, if they're up 200% instead of 300 or even 150%, like depending on how much money you have invested, that is very, very substantial, right? If you have $300,000 invested with Apple and in 10 years, Apple is up 150%, 100% of $300,000 is another $300,000. So now you have $6,000, $600,000, right? Like that's huge. So it just really kind of depends. I really don't know my top 5 positions in that way, and I'm sure I could easily possibly find it looking at my statement and kind of seeing percentage wise, but I'm not gonna look at that right now in this particular live stream. But I do have a lot of risky positions. I have a lot invested with Apple, Lucid Group, and Tesla. And then I have a lot of investment in REITs. So I have a lot of money with Prospect Capital, Armor Residential REIT. I don't even know like the 4th largest position. That's crazy. It's probably an ETF though, to be honest, because I have a substantial amount of money invested in VUG and VGT, which are Vanguard ETFs. I think that might be like my 3rd and 4th biggest positions. Yeah, so I'm looking at VGT right now, and I have 6% of my portfolio, which 6% is $34,000 invested with them, right? So that's a pretty big position, and it's an ETF, right? So the fact that it's an ETF and it's an information technology ETF, right? So I'm invested in that one particularly because, of course, I want it to grow. The next one is another 3%. So that's probably the top 5, to be honest with you. Now that I'm like talking about it out loud, I don't think I have. So in the second one, that's another $17,000. Let me show you guys here. So this one is VUG, Vanguard Growth ETF, and I have $17,000 invested with that, which is obviously a big chunk. And then with VGT, I have $34,000 invested with that, and then with Lucid Group, I have like $60,000. With Tesla, like 39. With Apple, a lot. So those would probably be my top 5. But it's actually kind of aggressive still, right? Like Apple, technology, then Tesla, then Lucid Group. It's very aggressive. The ETFs that I have, even those ETFs, the reason why I'm invested with them is because the returns in the last 5 years have been pretty good. And I don't expect to get the same returns, but if I get half of it, that's a huge win for me. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's currently where I am. All right, let's see. So that was Adam. We got another question here. By the way, this is a live stream. I am gonna get through the comments. I'm just gonna do the comments from here on out. So Christopher says, what percentage of margin do you use? Do you recommend? Also, what percentage are you at? Man, Christopher, that is a great question. My margin percentage is all the way up. Like it's bananas. Like it's a suicide mission. One of the things that I heard, because I drive Uber as well, one of the things that I heard from somebody is the fact that he was telling me that, sometimes people risk really, really big. You know what I mean? I'm going to show you guys right now. The amount of money that I'm using in regards to margin. Okay. So this is inside of my Robinhood account. Okay. You guys can't see that. Oh yeah, you can. All right, so this is inside of my account. So 290 is where my portfolio is valued. Okay, brokerage margin used $250,000, which is obviously a lot. Okay, 250 used. Now the 540 you see there is obviously going to be the 290 plus the 250. Okay, how much money I have available to me in regards to margin, I'll show you guys that. Okay. So right now margin is 7.75%. Okay, and I'll show you behind the scenes. All right, so here we go. In my Robinhood account, you see margin 7.75%. Of course, it's going to be raised to 8%. I'm sure I'll get an email from Robinhood telling me they've raised it. But look, total margin $321,000. I only have invested $260,000 in Robinhood. Okay. 321,000 that's available that I can use up to. I currently have available 71,000. The margin currently used $250,000. Now a lot of that is with Apple, right? So once again, it's very interesting because somebody else having access to this money, their portfolio would be all the way up right now. I cannot tell you how many times I ask myself, like, am I doing this right? Like, should I be doing something else? A prime example would be, and this is a prime example, right? The more money you have, the more access you have to get more money to borrow, right? By the way, smash the thumbs up in this video. We have 9 viewers. So, like, I have $260,000 invested. And Robinhood is allowing me to have access to $321,000. The reason being is because I have so much money invested with Apple, and Apple is the #1 company in a lot of ETFs. So if it's the #1 company in a lot of ETFs, once again, that's the answer. They're giving you the answers, right? So, depending on what you're invested in is going to depend how much money they give you access to when it comes to margin. So if somebody else had this account, you could easily buy and sell. You could easily trade with the intention of just growing your portfolio and not necessarily getting dividend payments and not necessarily taking time over time. And I've thought about this a lot. As a matter of fact, today I transferred some money from my savings account and to my checking account. Well, my savings account is with a different bank, so it's going to take a while. But I'm transferring money to my checking account so that I can put that money in my Webull account. I don't even talk about my Webull account that much. My Webull account is down substantially. I think I have about overall like 60,000 in my Webull account, but I'm substantially down. And since we're doing this live, I'll show you guys real quick. Then I'll jump back into the live chat. So this is my Webull account right here. Okay. So my Webull account currently is valued at $42,000 right now, but you can see my profit loss is I'm down 16,000, 15,000. All right. So like overall, I'm down 15,000. So right now, right, I showed you guys a little bit earlier in the video with Lucid Group on my Webull account. I have Lucid and Tesla in my Webull account. That's my two positions. Of course, I have some crypto, but Webull just split up the stock market and the crypto stuff. So you can see my average cost on Lucid is $19.63. The $7.15 is where it's trading right now. With Tesla, my average cost is $277. Tesla is trading for $265. So you can see on my account on Lucid, I am very much upside down. Whereas with Robinhood, I'm actually in the green with Lucid because I've been using my margin. I don't use margin on Webull because like the interest rate's ridiculous. So I don't even use it at all. But I'm transferring money to bring that cost down. All right, jumping back into the chat. We got Mike says, hello from Naples, Florida. What's going on, my brother? Thank you for stopping by. It's a pleasure to see you. Speaking of my brother, we got Cinemadness in the house. What's happening? My man, Cinemadness is also from another YouTube channel that I have talking about credit cards and stuff. So it's a pleasure to see you, bro. He says, I'm at work. I got you, man. Powell says, Powell Bunyan. I like that. I like that username. That's as good. I'm so glad you back up. Hey, me too. Me too. Trust me. It's been a journey. I mean, you know, once again, it's so weird because I mentioned in the video earlier, like there's so many different ways to make money. And as long as you're doing things on the up and up and you're not breaking any rules, like, you know, it's about the knowledge, you know, like options is another thing. I don't know jack about options. I don't do calls and puts. I don't touch it, you know, because really I don't touch it and I'm not interested in even learning because when my portfolio was down $63,000 at one point, that was my first time like, yo, that cuts differently. You know what I mean? And then, so it was down 63,000. And then at another point, it was down over 100 something thousand, you know, just to show you guys, keep it real with you guys. So you're looking at my portfolio. If I click on all, you can see here, my portfolio was down right here. Well, 80,000 right there. Right here, it was down 63,000 back in October 2020. So that hurt. You feel me? That was October 2020. Then it was down 80,000, right? June 2022. Then it was down in 2023. It was down $126,000. You know what I mean? So, like, of course, now it doesn't affect me as much depending on what I'm invested in, you know, and I'm using margin investing, like I said, to kind of bring my average cost down. So I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky. Cinemana says, glad I could make this stream. I didn't get the notification. I'm 44 minutes late, but how much longer do you think you'll be live? I don't know, man. I was just kind of doing the live to see how my stock portfolio would react in regards to the Fed's raising interest, right? Because the thing is, the stock market, it reacts to news. And it's very interesting because, you know, in the past, it went down substantially. So it's interesting to see that it didn't do that. And as a matter of fact, it went up. Of course, you know, it's still kind of early, right? So it's kind of interesting. So that's kind of why I decided to do the live stream. Powell says, Vanguard let you trade options now. Didn't know that. I don't fool with options. I don't fool with options. This is a live stream. So if you guys are coming into the live stream, if you have any questions, type them into the comment section. I'll do my best to answer it. And please smash the thumbs up in this video. That would help tremendously. Mike says, I started my investment journey mid-22, bought Tesla at 110, Meta at 89, Amazon at 88. Because of my inexperience, I sold too soon and missed out. Now I focus mostly on monthly dividend payers. Yeah, it's interesting, Mike. That's the thing when you're first getting started, you know, we never know when is the best time to buy or sell. We just have to decide, listen, I'm going to take money off the table, right? So it's definitely tricky, definitely tricky. A prime example would be my average cost with Apple was $125, right? I'll show you guys. My average cost was $100. By the way, amazing profile picture, Mike. Let's go. This beautiful family, bro. You got boys in this picture. If those are your kids, I feel like boys are easier. I have a boy and a girl. So congratulations. Awesome profile pic. But yeah, when I got started, I got this huge position with Apple, and my average cost was $125. And then of course, Apple was ramping up, and I bought using using margin investing. I bought $110,000 worth of shares, right? So I'll show you guys. And I bought, and it was high when I bought it, right? And of course, in true fashion, every time I buy something, the stock market kind of does the opposite, not every time, but most of the times. All right. So I'm going to scroll down and show you guys my buy. Here it is right here, February 11th, 2022. I bought $110,000 worth of shares using margin investing. Okay. February 11th, 2022. Let's look what happened after I bought it. February 11th, 2022. Let me go back and show you guys. Let's look at Apple for the last year. Okay, let's find February 11th, 2022. Okay, so here is, yikes, wait a minute. Okay, here we go. Let me find February. You see it? February, that's February the 4th. Here's February the 11th, 2022. Okay, it says Apple was 168. I bought for 171, right? Almost 172. February 11th. You see it? 2022. I went in $110,000 of margin investing, right? You talk about, selling too soon. Okay, look, March 11th, Apple's at 154. Look over here. June 17th, Apple was at 131. Okay, let's do 131 divided by $110,000, right? I would have gotten 200 more shares. I would have gotten 839 shares as opposed to 639 shares, right? So, even over here, right? 129, right? So, that just goes to show you, we can't time the market perfectly. It's like trying to connect the dots in our lives. You can't connect the dots looking forward, right? My portfolio is currently back down, right? Not down overall, but lower. It's at 287 now versus 290. You cannot connect the dots in life moving forward because it hasn't happened yet, right? You have your plans, you have all your intentions, you have your goals, you do everything in your power to make sure you execute, but you have no way to guarantee. You can guarantee that you won't connect dots and you won't get to your goals if you don't do things daily, right? Or things that, or at least have a plan. In the stock market, we can only look back and say, oh, I wish I would have bought, when it was 129. So I brought my average cost from 125 to 145 because I bought Apple so high. So it happens. Cinnamon says, for me personally, I know the basics in the stock market is buy low, sell high. I want to use the billionaire playbook and buy, borrow, die, or buy low, borrow, die to never pay taxes on gains. Yeah, listen, I don't even know what you're talking about, but that sounds delightful, especially when it comes to never paying taxes on gains. Man, that's dope. I really respect the fact that you're doing your due diligence and you're doing your research. And once again, at such a young age, man, that's freaking awesome. Dazzy says, I have $2,000 in Apple and I'm up $500. Hello from Ireland. Hey, man, Dazzy, thank you for taking the time to comment and drop a comment in the live stream in the chat section. Congratulations to you. I know how it feels to be up. It's incredible. As a matter of fact, I'm up with Apple. And of course, it always feels good to be up. So I get that. Christopher says, do you use stop loss or trailing stop loss? I don't do any of those things just because I am very much connected to my portfolio. I look at my portfolio 10 times a day easily to see if there's an opportunity here to buy and, take a little profit, for example, today, if the stock market or if my portfolio had gone down substantially, I would have looked for an opportunity to buy. And I would have bought right here on the live stream because, I know that it's going to recover a little bit maybe tomorrow. So no, I don't do that because I don't know. I don't, but there's nothing wrong with doing it, especially stop loss stuff. I don't focus on it as much because I know that if I'm watching the stocks and I'm learning, you learn more when you have more invested, right? And I don't necessarily mean, well, yeah, more money, but you're gonna pay more attention. If you have $100 invested in the stock market, whatever, it's $100. Your wins for having $100 invested is so tiny that you don't even value it. And as human beings, we're really good at that. We're really good at devaluing small things and small steps, as if small things and small steps don't equal something monumental. And we know that they do. You know what I'm saying? So it's wild. But that's how it is. So if you have $100 invested and you're up, let's say you're up 10%. 10% is huge, but you only have $100 invested. So you're like, oh, okay, $110. Like, it's nothing. The same thing is true if you're down 10%. Oh, I'm just down $10. When you have more money invested, you're going to pay more attention. So, and it makes sense. You just have to get to a point where you try not to let being up and down affect you. And that is hard. That's a tough lesson. I mean, you hear people talk about it, but once again, it's one of those things. It's absolutely different. You have to go through the experience yourself. When you watch stuff on TV and you see stuff in the movies and you see the person's having, they're at a dark moment and they're getting their butt handed to them. It's different when you're watching that on TV. And it's amazing that watching that and reading about stuff like that has you have certain emotions and feelings, but it's a lot different experience when you're the one going through it. So, I mean, my advice is just, stick it out, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think one of the best things to do is invest in dividend paying stocks. And the internet being the internet and YouTube being YouTube, it's easy to jump online and be like, what is the list of the dividend kings and the dividend aristocrats, right? Those are companies that have paid dividends for a certain time period, like, 10 years or 20 years or over 50 years of consecutive payments and 50 years of consecutive dividend increases, right? It's easy to research that. Now, if you take it with a grain of salt, even though you research and you find the companies that's been paying dividends for the last 20 years, and they've been increasing it for the last 20 years, that doesn't mean that, they won't ever cut their dividend, right? I mean, it happens. Like AT&T was doing really good and they had whatever streak that they had and, they chopped the dividends. So it happens, right? But once again, if you believe that it's a solid company, like if I'm invested in Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola does something goofy or their stock prices goes down, I'm not going to be like, oh, Coca-Cola they're going to go out of business and I need to sell my position, right? Because I'm invested with them because they're paying a dividend and it's Coca-Cola. They have a lot of products other than just Coke and they have products outside of the United States. I know it's hard to believe. So, if the price goes down, like, and if I have money, that's an opportunity to bring my average cost lower, grab some more shares and make my dividend payment that I'm going to get a little bit bigger. So it just really kind of depends. Cinnamon says, in my M1 finance, I have 4,800 invested and I could borrow 1,900 from my portfolio at 6.95 and only pay $11 in monthly interest, which is good. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's definitely awesome. 6.95. That's cool. That's lower than Robinhood, right? I do know that there are brokerage accounts out there that have less interest in Robinhood. I know that Interactive Broker is one of them as well, and I've been thinking about starting an account with them. My mind is all over the place. I was thinking like maybe I can start an account with them and use their margin investing and grow my account. Like the purpose of that account is just to grow it, just to see if I can just thug it out and make money. You know what I mean? Just like don't be tied or married to any of my investments. Buy, sell, take profits and just grow the account because like that's kind of cool too. You know what I mean? Cinnamon says put that almost 2,000 into bank bonus for 3 months, get rewarded 300 and invest the 300 back into the portfolio. That's funny. That's actually a smart idea. I have 0.5 shares free. Apple 0.23. You have 0.5 shares with Apple, and then 0.232 of Tesla, 0.14 shares of Amazon, 0.42 with Ford. They paid you 6 cents today for dividends. 0.17% of a share with Google, 0.076 of Microsoft, and 2.16 shares of Snap. All free shares. No, that's cool, man. That's what I'm talking about. All the rest, I'm all in on VTI, bro. I mean, I told you about that on the other channel. I mean, it's not. Once again, there's a lot of ways to make money. So, we all have our own path to walk. It's so interesting because once again, it's very similar to life, right? To tell somebody, no, there's only one way to get to your destination, when the reality is that's not true, right? So Mike says, thanks, Dwayne, for the compliment. Those are my boys and my wife. I'm doing it all for them. Keep up the good work. You have a perfect balance of humbleness and transparency. Mike, come on, my brother. Come on, Mike. Oh, man, that's kind. I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to notice, what I'm saying? Like the profile pictures right there, and, you got this beautiful family. So, it's a done deal. Hey, where are you from, Mike? Let me know real quick in the comment section. I'm curious. Let me know where you guys are like, where you're, if you're from the States, let me know where your family's from, right? Like, don't tell me you're from Wisconsin. Don't do that. Let me know what country your family's from, if you feel like sharing. By the way, this is a live stream, so if you have any more questions, definitely slap them into the comment section. We have 8 viewers watching. If you haven't smashed the thumbs up yet, please smash the thumbs up. It's an easy and, more importantly, free way to support this particular video and channel. All right. So if you have any questions, slap them in the comment section. This is a live stream, and I'll try my best to answer it. Cinnamon says M1 borrow is literally one of the biggest reasons I love investing a portion of my after-tax paycheck, because every $250 you add beyond 2,000 balance, you can borrow 100. I mean, that's dope. I mean, there's a lot of people that sing praises in regards to M1 Finance, and I don't know, like I'm not a big fan of paying, like monthly or whatever to use a brokerage. And there's nothing wrong with that. And M1 Finance is absolutely super duper legit, and obviously their margin percentage, the interest rate, is lower than Robinhood. So, I mean, definitely has me like, I don't know, like it's lower than Robinhood. That's a big deal. Mike says, have you checked out the Yield Max funds? They're hot right now and paying crazy dividends. Now, Mike, let me know what the ticker symbol is so I can check that out. But there are 100 people watching. Once again, this is a live stream. If you have any questions, slap them into the chat. Let's see where my portfolio is currently. Okay, so we cooled off a little bit. The market reacted to the Feds making their announcement. Right now, my portfolio it's up $2,300. Once again, the Feds made their announcement at 1 p.m. Central Time, and at that time, my portfolio was at 287. Since that time, portfolio went up. And then of course you can see it went all the way up here by 145. It was up $6,000 on the day. Okay. Basically it was up like $4,500 since the Fed made their announcements. As you can see, 291, and then where we are right now, 288. I mean, and that even just showing you guys the journey of today in my portfolio from 8:30 a.m. here in Houston, which is the time the market opens officially for me, you could see the journey of my portfolio in one day, right? You have ups and downs. You got up, it went up here, it went down, it went up. I mean, the crazy thing is, like, people are making money, you know what I'm saying, and losing money too. People are making money and losing money too with those swings in the market, you know. And the more you pay attention to the market, the more you can kind of start to understand certain things, you know, like when you see your portfolio has gone up, like, you know, there'll be one day my portfolio's up $12,000. I don't think, oh snap, here we go, it's going to the moon, it's just going to keep going up. I think, okay, it's up today. Do I want to take some money off the table? Do I want to sell anything or a portion of something, right, and take some profits off the table because I know it's going to come back down? Like, I know it's going to come back down. So it's certainly interesting. Christopher says, how much money did you start your account with? Can you show us the profit loss chart again and start showing it at the beginning before you had the 3 dips that you previously indicated? So initially when I started, my first deposit back onto Robinhood was really aggressive. I think I deposited like, I don't know, 50 something or 80,000 or something like that. There was a point where I just had money sitting in my checking account, and of course, you know, having money sit in your checking account, like, you know, it's not really doing anything. I mean, it's there, you feel good type of thing, you know, you can look at it, you know, that type of thing, like, oh, the money's there in my account, you know what I mean? But other than that, it's just sitting there, you know. Let me see. Oh wow, it has my history all the way back to 2016, which is funny when I started to invest in the market. That is crazy. But since May of 2020, yeah, I was chunking money into this account since May of 2020. Give me a second here. I'm trying to find a way to share with you guys. Give me a second here. Without sharing, you know, way too much. Let's see. Is it history? Transfers. Okay. Okay, I can show you guys on the app. I cannot show you guys on the desktop. But let me share my screen real quick and show you my portfolio. Like I said, I really kind of started to reinvest since May of 2020. So since then, I have pumped into my Robinhood account, let's just say $260,000. Robinhood takes the $5 for Robinhood Gold every single month. So this was 260, 250 at one point, right? Now it's just 260, 245. And the reason why is because, once again, you know, Robinhood takes money for Robinhood Gold. Sorry about that. The computer was doing whatever it was doing. So 260, 265 since May. But I didn't have that money right off the top. So in May, I'm trying to find May of 2020 here. So in May of 2020, I'm going to show you guys here on the cell phone. All right. Give me a second here to switch back. All right. So we are switched back. Okay. May of 2020. You can see whenever the screen decides to focus. So you see May 17th, $2,000. May 19th, $38,000. May 21st, $29,000. May 29th, $12,000. June 4th, $8,000. June 5th, $13,000. And of course, you know, $17,000, July 31st, July 21st, August 31st, $18,000, October 1st, $17,000. You see, I was going very, very aggressive, and it kind of tapered off a little bit, right? Let's see if there's another big one in here somewhere. Okay, there's 5,000. There's 12,000, March 28th, 2021. 8,000, April 2021. 7,000, May 21. And then the last big one, let's see, 20,000, August. Another 6,000, August. 9,000, September. So 12,000. Wow, it's crazy. It's crazy looking at it this way. But yeah, I mean, I obviously was saving money, right? So the thing was, I just had money sitting in my account, and I was like, okay, well, I don't really want to do real estate. I'm not really trying to buy a house, which is crazy because we all know what happened in regards to real estate. Like, buying a house in 2020 versus what's going on now. Like, I would be rich, maybe I'd be retired by now because, of course, houses are super expensive now, right? But I didn't. So so that's kind of a snapshot. If that's not transparent. But the thing is, I just had money sitting in my account. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people just don't know. Like, it's different. It's not what you think it is. And it's not what I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to save my money and I like to see my money grow. It's a cool game. I love it. That type of stuff makes me happy. You feel me? So, like, for me, I was in a position where I was making some money, and I was, the money's pouring in, and of course I want to be responsible, right? Like, I did make an irresponsible purchase. I had a Tesla Model Y for a minute, and I sold it because, of course, everything was perfect, and the timing was perfect. Gas prices were really high, the shortage with the chips, and so of course people was like, yeah, I want an electric vehicle, and I actually ended up making $10,000 more than what it cost when I bought the Tesla. I bought the Tesla in November 2020, and I sold it July 2022, and I made $10,000 more. So what was a very not financially smart decision ended up being, I'm such a smart businessman, right? It was just a perfect storm. Anyway, I'm going to jump back into the chats real quick here. Be sure to get your questions typed into the live stream chat. This is a live stream. I have been on here for an hour and a half almost. So definitely looking forward to answering your questions. If you haven't smashed the thumbs up yet, please smash the thumbs up. Love to have that support. It's easy. It's free. You know what I mean? All right, jumping back into the stream here to see what's going on in the chat. All right, so okay, Cinemadness says, Dwayne, it's just I'm kind of overly cautious of what I invest into other than VTI, because in this video he was saying no matter how big or integrated into society a company is, no company lasts forever. Listen, one of the cool things about looking at people's portfolio on YouTube and just having access is you have a snapshot to see a lot of different stories and scenarios. And once again, you know me, I'm not a guru. I'm not going to tell you, yo, you got to do it this way. Somebody has seen my portfolio out there, and somebody has the knowledge to make my portfolio go bananas. If somebody had $260,000 invested in the stock market, or invested in trading currency, or invested in trading crypto, their portfolio would have been over $2 million by now. But I don't have that knowledge, and that's just what it is. So you got to do what's best for you. That's for sure. Mike says, I was born in Cuba and my wife is Italian. Yield max funds. Okay, I need to write this down. All right, appreciate you, Mike. Let me jot this down on my notepad, my handy dandy notebook. TSLY NVDY APLY. It's so funny because AMZY. It's funny because there are so many different places I can invest my money, and I try to be very careful of not being all over the place. It's like when you're getting started, and you're trying to figure out like your path. You can be scattered. But I definitely appreciate that information, Mike, and thank you for sharing the fact that you're Cuban and your wife is Italian. That's incredible, man. Good for you guys. Very, very good. He says they're using a new strategy. I'll check that out. Cinnamon says, Dwayne, one of the most hilarious thing I heard was the richest man on the planet isn't Jeff or Elon or anyone on Forbes list. It's Dennis M. Hope. Hope claims that to have over $100 trillion net worth in 2022, as he owns over 7 trillion acres of land on other planets. Wow. Yeah, that's funny. Owning land on other planets. That's a good one. Man, that's crazy. And somebody's selling, right? Like, how you selling on another planet? I don't know. Christopher says, I love the transparency. I'm subscribed for life. Appreciate you, bro. He says, was that your entire life savings? It's definitely, it's up there. It's definitely up there. And that's one of the things is like, I don't know. I mean, who's to say what's right and wrong as far as what you should be doing with your money? Somebody finds value in buying a house, right? And so you spend all the money on the house, and you don't have that money. That money that you spend on the house doesn't give you the opportunity to create generational wealth. And if somebody sells that house one day, let's say the house was $200,000 and it's sold for $500,000, right? Supposedly you profited $300,000, right? But then what are you gonna do? You're gonna buy a bigger house at that time, because chances are it's probably gonna be substantially more expensive to buy a house if it's $300,000 more, right, that you made on the house. So it's interesting. I mean, there's I don't know. I think it's a beautiful thing in a way, and I am notorious for like wanting and thinking people should think like me and see things the way I see it. I'm notorious for that, which is kind of funny. And I'm being totally real right now. But the beauty is there's a lot of ways to accomplish, whatever your goals are. And so yeah, it's definitely a lot of money. That's for sure. And, of course, I have high hopes and good intentions for that money. Listen, I'm going to get up on out of here, you guys. I appreciate y'all so much. If you have any questions, I'll stick around for another minute. Slap it into the comment section. I'll try to answer it. Cinnamon says, I'm like imagining me getting to 40,000 account balance in my M1 and being able to borrow 16 and buy whatever I want, like a used car for $92 per month at $695 and never pay it off. First of all, that's pretty cool, especially if you can borrow the money and transfer it out of your account. That's kind of live, but the reality is 6.95%. I'm sure that won't be a thing. But hey, if you could swing that, that's genius. You know what I mean? That is absolutely genius. I don't know if you could transfer the money out of your account like that, though, to be honest with you. But if you could, that would be freaking dope. That would be freaking dope. You guys, it's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. I'm glad that I was able to be here and share and serve in any way that I could. Currently, my portfolio is, more or less where it was when I started the live. Let me show you guys one last time. So right now it's valued at $288,000. For the day, I'm up $3,000. I started the live around 1 o'clock. So let's see what I was doing around 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, it was valued at $287, and I was up $1,700. And right now I'm up $3,200. Not too bad. Okay. But that's the stock market. I mean, you can see in an hour and a half, it went up several $1,000s, and now it's only up a little bit. It was up basically $6,000, and now it's up $3,000. So that is the live. That is the stock market for you. Once again, it's been an honor, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. All right, you guys have an incredible day. And once again, my name is Dwayne with My Investment Journey, and I approve this video. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, take care and be blessed. Peace.